Welcome to Atmanramayana, where timeless wisdom meets modern insight. Join me, Svetanusha, and our resident expert Srini as we embark on a journey through the sacred narrative of the Ramayana.
But Srini, as much as we want to do this introspection and retrospection, for leaders, it's also not for leaders, for everybody involved. We are in this flow of survival mode
Yes.
where it becomes highly impossible to shift and focus on other purposes in life. And especially for leaders, the work life is very, very hectic. They sometimes have to work 24 by 7 or
Fair
at
enough.
least is 12 hours per day. So for them, how they can shift their work or realign their lifestyle so as to focus on this retrospection and introspection.
Okay, so let me give a analogy which is very kind of day-to-day things. So every time we take a flight, what does the air hostesses say? In case of emergency, she says the mask will fall down, and she says first put the mask on yourself and then on others.
Correct.
So irrespective of the fact whether my duty is 12 hours or 14 hours, I need to take out some time to regenerate myself. Because if I don't regenerate myself, I will never be able to even do justice to those 12 hours, 14 hours of duty that I'm supposed to do. In that process of regeneration, when I take out that time, I need to also figure out this constantly. Okay, whether what we are doing or what I'm doing is making sense or no. And is this the ultimate aim for which I am driving for? So today one of the challenges, like you rightly said, is we see time as fixed, but time is actually relative in nature. So why is it that in the same 24 hours that you and I have, somebody like Mukesh Ambani is able to run $1 billion business? Or why is that Mother Teresa was able to save over 30 lakh children in the same 24 hours? How come Leonardo da Vinci had time to do design aeroplanes as well as modern surgery and also draw Mona Lisa in between?
Yes.
So time is there for all of us. It is just that today it is not in my priority list. The moment you get into the priority list, you will realize that you will take out time. So it could be that half an hour before going to bed, or it could be half an hour waking up early than everybody else in the home to do what you think is important. The other element is our openness to sacrifice. In the sense we should, if we believe that half an hour is important, then we should be ready to sacrifice something else which is not so important. It could be, do I need to be on social media for so many hours? Do I need to be on internet for so many hours? Do I have to see those debates on TV which goes on endless with no reason or rhyme? To some other things. So something which I think is unwinding or is very nice to me because I like doing it may not be that important as the figuring out purpose of your life. So our ability to do that will help us. So I understand this. Time is critical. Time is not in. But what is interesting is out of those 24 hours, at least 12 hours are in your control. So 12 hours may be not in your control. It could be your boss, it could be your spouse, it could be your children, it could be your in-laws who will take away. But there are at least 8 to 12 hours in everybody's life where nobody else is there. And in those 8 to 12 hours, we need to figure out what the priorities are, let go few things, put few things in there. I always see that if you are able to get your priorities right, you will be able to figure it out. Unfortunately, today it is not on priority. As many of us believe, it will come, automatically. So I always tell it's such a difficult thing. It is not going to pop up, right? One has to make efforts to do. And those efforts will only come if you and I decide to embark on that journey and say, I need to figure it out. And that happens. So what is interesting is it will happen for different people at different points of time. So it could be age, it could be events, it could be anything, you know. For some of us, we are lucky that it comes. Other way of doing is getting into conversations like this. So if you can get into a set of circle of friends or have teachers or gurus with whom you can have these conversations, and they will be able to throw light, they will be able to give you that thoughts. Because many times we may not be able to see as we are very near to the issue. So like in Hindi they keep saying, you know, diya tale andhera. Why? Because if you are too much near to the issue, you may not be able to see it. So other way of doing it is to have conversations with people who understand these conversations, who see deep meaning in this, and start debating with them, start talking to them. And they are the ones who will be able to give you that space to understand where you are missing out and how do you go and build that thing.
Okay. Yeah. So, do we have any order for these priorities? The 9 dharmas you mentioned.
So the order of priority is very simple. Based on the age and the role that you are playing today, the priorities will keep changing. So for example, if today you have a child who's young, then your dharma as a mother is far more important than probably being a spouse. Or say for example, if you have a job and there is a project deadline, then that job dharma takes over your being a spouse or a mother. So this is ever shifting based on what role you are playing. So what is important is that every day morning when we embark on our journey, we should be able and conscious and aware, saying ki what is critical today, and I need to place that dharma in front and then do others. So if you look at Rama in Ramayana, he clearly always follows that path. So he always is very clear. Okay, as a son I have a duty, but the king will precede over the son. I have a duty towards my wife, but if the duty is there, then that will precede over this. So at any given point of time when you are looking at a different role, you will see what role comes priority and then you give that as a priority. So there is no fixated saying between the age of 26 to 30 you will do this. It doesn't happen that way.
Okay.
It's very relative, what you are doing, what you are responsible for there. What is important for us is not to escape it. If we've taken responsibilities, we need to make full justice to it. We need to put full efforts to it, because that is what is expected from that dharma at that point of time.